This is now question 2B on test 3 from this year, which explains that on Quantar there's no oxygen, so the Quantarians are breathing S2 instead, and they rely on sulfohemoglobin to carry that S2 from the lungs to the cells, where it deposits it. On the other hand, CS is a toxic molecule that competes with S2 to bind to that sulfohemoglobin, and that's shown by this equation up here. So probably you have S2 on there, but in the presence of CS, you end up with this equilibrium where the CS will kick out the S2 and replace it on the sulfohemoglobin. You're given the delta G for this reaction at 368, which is the Quantarian body temperature, and that's minus 15 kilojoules per mole. And you're asked to give the ratio of the CS bound versus the S2 bound compounds or enzyme sets when you have equal concentrations of CS and S2 present in the system. So if both are present there, pretty much what is the ratio? Are you going to have more CS binding to it, or are you going to have more S2? And that's giving us kind of a bit of an idea about how toxic or how poisonous CS would be to Quantarians. Now you're given a hint to start with K, or the equilibrium constant. So if you just write down the K here, so here we have delta G, let's write down K for this equilibrium up here, where you have your concentration of products over reactants. You're going to have HBCS, S2 over HBS2 times CS. Now we're told that these two are going to be equal, concentration of CS and S2. So those can get canceled out right away. And there's what we're looking for, concentration of the CS binding versus S2 binding. So really we just need to solve for K then, out of our equation. Our equation relating delta G to K, delta G equals minus RT ln K. So you have delta G. Remember your delta G is given in kilojoules. You'll have to switch that into joules. R is in joules, that's why, or switch this one into kilojoules, however you want to do that. You have your temperature, 95 degrees Celsius or 368 Kelvin. You're going to be solving for K. If you rearrange all of this, K is going to be equal to E to the minus delta G naught over RT. And after this whole rearrangement, the number you get is 134.4. So if you look back at your ratio here, that's telling us that we have 134 times as much of the CS bound version than we do of S2. So if you have the same concentration of these guys, the CS is going to kick out the S2 and replace it on that sulfohemoglobin, meaning that it is an extremely toxic molecule and will most likely poison our Quantarians.